We're looking at Chapter 2.6, Excel, and this is SC or Scored Assignment Hotel. So I've saved it already. I'm at step 2. It says enter the formula in C5, so let me find C5. Okay. And we're going to calculate the January capacity for the hotel. So the capacity shows how many people the hotel can hold during a month. So it's calculated by first multiplying the occupants per room by the number of rooms. So occupants per room, and then by how many rooms. And then we multiply that by the number of days in the month. So the hotel capacity for January is 5,580. But I'm not going to drag that all the way down, because when I do, right, I'm going to get some errors. What I need to do is come back to this formula, and those numbers of rooms and occupants per room, those are absolute references. They're not going to change, so they need those dollar signs around them to show their absolute references. Now, my answer doesn't change, but this time I can drag it down, and I have numbers. So that's step 2. Or actually step 2 and 3. So now it says use a paste method that does not remove the border. Oh no! So I removed the border. That's bad. So let's try that again. And I need to keep that bottom border there. So I'm just going to click the bottom border. Okay, so now step 4. Enter a formula in cell E5. And we need percent of occupancy. So I'm going to divide the actual occupancy by the hotel capacity. And then I'm going to drag this all the way down. And again, I need that bottom border still to be there. So, okay, so we've copied the formula all the way down, and then we're going to copy the same formula into C17. We need to change these to percents. So in the number group there's a percent, and it asks us to have 2 decimals. And in C17, or in the occupancy sheet, we're looking at the sums. So we want to sum C5 to C16. And then we want to do the same thing for D17. And then it says we want to copy the formula from E16 into E17. But we want to make that one bold as well. So now we go to the statistics sheet. And in cell B3, we want to find the highest value, or the max value. Max, and then go back to the occupancy sheet to find the highest occupancy. So that would be D5 to D16. And there's our highest occupancy. Now we're going to do the same, but this time for minimum. Come back to the occupancy sheet, do D5 through D6, and then we do the average. Again with the occupancy sheet, D5 through D16. Okay, so let's drag these over. And now it's asking for B3 to B5 to be comma with no decimals, and then percent to be percent with 2 decimals. So that was step 11. Now for step 12, the hotel is considering buying or leasing a car shuttle service. So the minimum payment is supposed to be $400 or less. And let's go to the lease or buy tab to work out some math on this. So we're at step 12, and we're typing in some numbers. So in B4, I'm supposed to type 25,000. For lease, 25,000, residual 15,000, 7%, 3, 6, and then 6%. So these are supposed to be dollar amounts with no decimals. These are supposed to be percents. We want one decimal place. And these are just numbers. So now in the B8 and C8, we're going to do some payment calculators. So equals payment to find out what the monthly payment would be. So first is the rate. So that would be this number. And it has to be over 12 months. You can come up to this f of x, a formula, and it's going to kind of help you remember which ones are. So if we go to NPR, NPR is the total number of payments. So then that's going to be 6 times 12, because there's 12 months a year. Then PV, the total amount. So negative this amount. The future value, payment period. And we're going to do something similar for C8. The payment. And I'm going to go ahead and open that again to help us remember which each ones are. So the rate divided by 12. So total number of payments times 12. PV. So this one. And then the balance afterwards is going to be the 15,000. And then we're going to type. And we're going to format these in $signs with 2 decimals, yep. And then it says select the range A4 to A8 and click the increase to indent the labels in that column. Now, from the page layout tab, access the page setup. And we are looking at the horizontal. So we want to center these. And in the footer, we want to add, let's see, it says insert the date in the left section. So I'm going to customize the footer date over here on the left, and then insert the file name in the right. And I say OK. I could also print preview if I wanted, but those are my answers.